For more on today's sell-off, let's go right to Jared Blikre. He's in our newsroom. Jared, what is getting your attention right now?
Well, I've been watching the market develop since the last FOMC announcement on May 1st, and it's been a kind of eerily similar to what we saw last October, and a couple of things are catching my eye. I'm watching the elevated VIX at about 1920. That spiked last week, but also I've been looking at the liquidity situation of the market itself, and for that, I look at the S&P futures. I've been watching the order book there for 15 years, and basically that's how many people are willing to buy or sell at a given level. Now, normally we see at the bottom there, let's say 10, 8 levels down and then 8 or 10 levels up, we see big numbers like 700 or 800. Currently, we see 150, 200. That's why the price is getting pushed around so much. That's why we have this market volatility. All it takes is some tweet that may or may not have any viability whatsoever to send this market off in any given direction. I'm also looking at market internals. The number of new 52-week lows is 122. That's the highest number of 2019, and it's actually double the number of new 52-week highs in the New York Stock Exchange. So not anything red right now in terms of red warning lights, but I'm seeing a bunch of yellow ones. Good news is the S&P held support today. It has pretty strong support around 2,800, going all the way down to 2,790, and the S&P 500 isn't even off 5% from its highs. We've been kind of due for a correction, but what I really do, what does concern me the most about this is the low liquidity. We saw it just vanish very quickly after that Powell announcement on May 1st. So I'm going to be looking for, we got a few little earnings announcements left. For the most part, it's in the bag. And then we're going to have the FOMC minutes next Wednesday. I think people are going to be looking at those heavily. And as Andy said earlier, it's all about earnings and interest rates as well as these trade headlines. But these trade headlines are just producing way too much volatility right now.
Hey, Jared, we were up there crunching some numbers earlier and looking at Boeing stock in particular. I'm wondering if we can pull that one up. Just from its most recent highs, that stock, quite a dramatic fall of about 24%. And I know you've also been looking at some areas of support on Boeing. Can you walk us through that a little bit?
Yeah, I was really concerned when we broke 360 because Boeing seemed like it was bulletproof. No matter what kind of headline came out, it was holding that level. It had rallied all the way up to 400, but now it's down to 337 or so. And it really doesn't have support until it gets to the 290s, around 292.50 to 300. So we could see a more significant drop. And I said from the beginning of this, it depends on exactly the news flow that comes out right now. I think this is more general market decline that's causing the weakness. But if it gets to the point where there are congressional investigations into the company itself and not just the FAA, not even 290 to 300 might support. And these trade talk headlines have a lot to do with this particular stock. Of course, it's a bellwether for global trade, and the fact that it's performing very badly and underperforming the market is a serious negative and something to keep an eye on.
All right, Jared Blikre live in our newsroom. Thank you so much.